Hey, it's Jack from Alpha Charts with a video about my favorite scan, right? So I share with my subscribers one of my favorite scans every single night for idea generation. And every so often I make a video about it and go over all the names on the scan. I think with a pullback today, I think it's especially important to do this. And every so often I share this with everybody because it helps me kind of highlight what I offer to my subscribers, right? So I don't do this for everybody all the time, just once in a blue moon. This happens to be one of those times. So now about being a subscriber, right? So basically, it's an educational service to keep you on the right side of the market and the best names possible. It's built for everybody. But I think people that work full time that can't be in front of the markets all the time, or just don't want to be in front of the markets all the time, but want to be an active trader, I think it's especially made for you because I believe that if you have even somebody else saying, okay, we're in a good part of the market, it's time to push on the gas a little bit. Here are some of the best sectors, best names out there as you participate without having put in the hours of work that is required to do it right. So again, every Sunday I do a special, stocks to watch. That's about an hour long, different than the free one that I provide. Much more involved. I do a market note on both on Sundays and also on Thursdays. I do a midweek video on Tuesday. I just released it for the super follows. I do I do videos like this throughout the week, usually at least once a week, usually on my favorite scan about just names that look good. Again, sharing scans throughout the week, just screenshots of scans. Again, I'm never going to tell somebody that they should buy something or should sell something, but we're going to have a dialogue. And I have a dialogue with many of my members about, what they're seeing in the market and if they want me to do a chart request and what I see, the way I look at the chart, I'm happy to do that. And so again, there's a ton of value in this, from the market notes to the special videos to the midweek video and the and stocks to watch. Also, I do a focus list video on Sundays, which is just about 5 names, 10 minutes, really to the point, ETFs and the names that look the best. So anyway, if you're interested in something like this, go ahead and click on actually I can show you right here. It's go on my profile at AlphaCharts365, click subscribe. Okay. So that is the spiel about my super follow group. If you're interested, please go ahead and give it a try. Let's get into these 20 names that I have for you today. So again, this pullback that we're seeing in the S&P 500, I think it's a healthy pullback within the context of the bigger uptrend. So let's look at some names off the scan specifically. First one is Robinhood, right? So I don't get to make these names up. They're just strictly what we're seeing. And it's a good looking name. I mean, so we're not bullishly aligned yet here, right? But I'm seeing a lot of accumulation showing up in the chart. You can kind of see how it's trying to make its bottom, starting to get that bullish turn to it. Again, does it have some work to do? Sure. But on a shorter term, this looks like an important area, right? And then as it moves higher. So again, is it something I want to plow into? Probably not. Is it starting to shape up? Yeah, starting to shape up some. Next up, EKNG. I've talked about this one with my super follows, before. You see it makes these flags. It looks like it's making another flag here. Again, if it's kind of your style of trading, it still has this uptrend that it's dealing with. Go for it. Again, it's a little too quick to flag again for me, but overall it doesn't look terrible, right? Still making higher highs and higher lows. CRDO. Now, this is a name I've been watching. Again, it's had this terrible drop right here, right? Almost a 50% drop. But look how it kind of came down and shot right back up. And it's now, way ahead of itself, right? Like the accumulation, maybe this needs to pull back a little bit, but CRDO is one on my personal watch list. Datadog. Again, I love the bullish crossover here, and now it's just kind of consolidating and starting to get a little tight, and that's a good thing, right? We want to see kind of this tightness happen. And I guess the 100 level, right? That's what it's a psychological level, it's an important level. And if you use the 23 days your stop, then that kind of makes sense, right? Overall, not, again, a name coming off the bottom, but it's starting to get that bullish look to it again. And again, this was a $200 stock. So as it's come back and makes its base again, we could revisit those highs. AVDX. Here's a newer name that I've been watching. So this was an area, kind of broke out here, came back in. I'm actually going to put a new one right there, right? So this is kind of the new area, and it has this kind of maybe a cup and handle, right? Just a little pullback right there, about to get the bullish cross, nice accumulation on the chart. So little pullback right there, right? If it breaks this downtrend, that's an early entry spot. Again, the breakout, you could always add if you wanted to. But I like this, again, a little cup and handle look to it, right? Not too shabby, trying to make its base and breakout. Next up, Dash, DoorDash. Again, I love the way that it's starting to get that bullish look again. 200 days trying to turn back up, and just kind of hugging the 9-day, right? That's this line right there, hugging the 9-day. That's the sign of a strong stock. So now it's got this little consolidation right in here, and if it can start to move higher, I think it all looks good. Net, which is NET, it's Cloudflare. Again, just trying to base out here. And this was a huge high flying stock back here, right? And now it came right back down to earth, and it's just chopping away in a range. Love how it's pulling back on lower volume. See the lower volume right there. Again, starting to get that bullish look, even though the 200 days is still flat. Price is above it all and trying to move higher. This one, again, breakout here, and I think it can go, much higher, obviously. Higher highs and higher lows. That's what we're looking for. FRSH. This is Freshworks. I believe it's a computer software company, I think. So love this kind of consolidation. And I thought it got ahead of itself right here. So my expectation was it was going to pull back and then break out. And it's doing just that. See on the pullback right here? Low volume. Love that. Low volume. Love that. Lower volume. Love that. So you see how on this part of the chart, as it's getting all its moving averages aligned correctly, we're getting to see accumulation show up. This is new merchandise, right? So if you're not familiar with this name FRSH, this is new merchandise, and it's starting to really shape up. And if you can break out, man, this one could be a mover, right? You see, it was at the highs a $53 stock. It's only since 2021. So this is one to watch. FRSH. Owl. Yeah, I'm going just straight off the scan. Blue Owl Capital. Again, I don't know much about this company. It looks a little choppy in here. Not a great amount of accumulation. Yeah, I'll pass. Flywire. Oh, not Ford. Flywire. There we go. So here's Flywire. And you see how it's trying to, again, just hold itself, starting to get a little bit loose in here and starting to show some accumulation show up on the chart. So for me, that's kind of a pass at this point, even though I have liked this stock in the past and have been involved in it in the past. DV. I just think there's better merchandise out there that looks better. I'm gonna double verify, man. Broke out of this area right here. See that little consolidation right in there, and Kabuli, right? Just went from 32 to 37. Pretty short order. Very organized. March higher. Trying to make its first real IPO base, right? Looks good. Again, the hard part here would be, where do you enter it, right? That's the hard part with double verify. Bill, BILL. Right off the bat, declining 200-day. I'm not as interested in this chart. Again, looks more like a laggard than a leader. We're going to move on. FLNC. This is what I am interested in. Been watching this one for a while. I actually have a position currently in this one. Let's just zoom into the important parts. You see how it keeps flagging up, go flags, moving higher. I love that when it pulls back on lower volume. So it seems like there's a lot of accumulation showing off on this chart. Again, you can kind of see it. Let's see if I can make this happen. Just again, every pullback is lower volume. Love the accumulation. This is Fluence Energy, FLNC. COUR, Coursera. What I haven't looked at in a while. All right. So again, it looks like a laggard, right? We're not getting the bullish cross yet. It's starting to set up, but not quite yet. I think it needs more work. BRZE. I did take a position in this one today, actually. Still a little extended, so I took a smaller position, but I want to watch this one. Overall, everything is looking good in this name. Strong chart. Strong little flag holding the gap very nicely. So it looks great. That's BRZE. GLBE. This is what I've been in for a while now. Looks good. Makes its consolidations higher. It's just consolidating above this breakout area. Everything is, I think, bullish looking, consolidating in this range. Prior trend is higher. This should resolve higher. Overall looks pretty good. Would like to see a little bit more accumulation volume start to show up, but at least we're seeing a decline in volume as it consolidates. So that's positive. I still hold a position. FROG. This is JFrog. Again, beautiful base. If it can break out above this area, I think this looks like a great looking name, right? Nice accumulation showing up here. So it's on my watch list. GFL. Nice little consolidation here, but maybe a little distribution in there. I think it just needs a little bit more time. SWAV, Shockwave is on here. I know something that got shaken out with this today. I get it. It makes sense, right? If you're managing risk, makes sense. But don't give up on this name because look how the buyers really bid it right back up. So it looks fantastic, making this kind of base over here, back up to that 300 level. Above 300, I think we could be long this name. And then last one is TMDX. Here is Transmedics. Again, a little sloppy in here, but I like how it's close to its moving averages. I'd probably use the 50-day at this point as my stop, but if it can hold it and start to really, move higher, I think all that looks, decent. Again, you kind of draw a trend line, here as well, something like that, right? That looks pretty good right there. So maybe you could use a trend line as your stop per se, again, however you want to trade it, that's up to you if this is the chart for you, right? So there you go. There's 20 names straight off my scan. This is usually reserved for only the people that follow my super follows, but every so often, again, I'm sharing it with everybody just to give a little preview of just part of what we do. So every so often I'll throw something like this out there. Hope you guys like this. Let me know below if you do. I appreciate the interaction, whether you're a super follower or not. And if you're, if you think that the service can help you, please go ahead and join. All right. Have a great day. Good night.